Hello everybody. It's a little cold and windy out here, but I wanted to finally try and get a short video of what we're trying to do with our future rescue and education building. So we're out here. This is our new property that we got almost a year ago now. We've spent almost the entire year cleaning up, getting everything moved, organized, resettled in a new location, and finally at a point where I feel like we can go around and look at stuff. So here's where our new rescue and education building will be. So if you've seen the plans that I've been posting on our fundraiser pages, this big long building, it's roughly 90 foot by 30 foot if I remember. Very large. It's taking up a good portion of the property here. But this is what we're going to renovate, basically construct onto to make our education and rescue side. So we're gonna basically split this in half, and we'll go around and go inside, and there's already like a wall pretty much in half that just needs a door to really separate it. So this is pretty much what we're building off of. It's pretty solid structure. I think it was used for who knows what in the past. There was a couple owners before us that had this place, and it's been through the run. But now it is going to be used for wildlife. So let me come around here. We'll come inside. You can see some of our other not quite put together enclosures yet, and then some of our other older enclosures from the old place. These are currently holding our education owl Noctis is in one of them, and then we've got the falcons that we're babysitting in two of them here, and then the flight cage behind it. Once we have this whole new setup done, then we will be using that only for wildlife and not for any of our education birds anymore. So let me get this open. Okay. Currently, we're just storing a lot of stuff in here. Caging, bowls, greenhouse, all the things that we haven't done anything else with. These older caging pieces we're probably going to use inside to create the inside portion here. So here's our wall that's kind of cutting us in half. It has some board insulation already, but we'll probably add a little bit more since we'll have these be indoor enclosures. So this is the front half of this section. Let me see if I can get there we go, kind of zoomed out. So the front half of this building, this will be our education side. Primarily the enclosures will be built onto the outside. We're going to cut holes in the wall so that you can come inside and have access from the inside for us and for the birds. So they'll have a small indoor enclosure, and then primarily their outdoor enclosures. Most of them don't spend a whole lot of time in their indoor parts of their current enclosures, so we're going to make those a little bit smaller and have the outdoor ones be a bit bigger. Excuse me. But this is kind of what we're working with. It's not super pretty at the moment, but once we get everything in, once we get all the funding in that we need, the major construction will be on those outdoor enclosures. And then inside here, we'll mostly just be prettying it up. I mean, we'll put in, walls, obviously, to separate the different enclosures in here. We'll put up more solid boards and then paint it so it looks good and presentable, because we're also going to use this for an indoor classroom. So once we have the inside sections of our enclosures set up, probably down in this side of the barn, corner, whatever this is, will be our sort of little indoor classroom setup. So it'll be kind of small, but it will give us a chance to do some more hands-on, interactive, with small group lessons, things like that. Maybe even someday we'll be able to do summer camps like we've always wanted to do. So that's in the future. But yeah, so that's our inside section. Again, just working on this first half for now with the education animals and the ambassador animals. This back half is actually a little bit longer the way it's split up, and this will eventually go towards more specific rescue things. So the things that I would like to see in here will require a pretty sophisticated plumbing system so that we can put in some overflow tanks for waterfowl, turtles, things like that. That way we can have much more, much more appropriate housing for some of the weirder animals that we get in on occasion. And then over here we'll put in a bunch of songbird aviaries, just small sections of various fairly light caging for aviaries since songbirds are small, but we want at least 6 of them since we get so many songbirds and can't always throw them all together. Having multiple different aviaries for them, especially for like soft release aviaries, would be ideal. But that's all further on down the line. Right now our big fundraiser that we're working on is for education stuff. So then coming along the other side out here, looks pretty much the same. Again, we have old enclosure scraps that we are slowly cannibalizing to build other things with, or stuff that's just rotted and not usable, kind of separating those out and getting them thrown out or burn pile or whatever it may be. A lot of it, though, is being reused to just build other things. So our outdoor enclosures, hard to imagine without me like being able to just draw in the air and show what it's going to be. But they'll all be, I'm trying to remember my plans that I drew out. I believe 10 feet, like basically coming 10 feet off of this building, and then anywhere from 12 to 14 feet long, depending on who's in them. So like Catharsis, our turkey vulture, could really use a lot more space than he's had in the past, so he'll probably have a 14-foot enclosure that he can, you know, run around a bit more through. Not fly, because he can't fly, but Noctis can fly, so we'll give her a little bit bigger enclosure too, so that she can stretch her wings a bit more, and we can work with her more on training her to like go from place to place flying. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing here.